You're on, Mr. Goss.
All right. Well, sorry about that. There was a little bit of a technical error there, a delay. I don't know. I feel like I'm reporting live from Dusseldorf, Germany tonight with the 5-hour delay. I'm up here on the Matterhorn, I guess. I don't know. Well, that's not even near Dusseldorf. I'm up here at the mustard factory in Dusseldorf. If you don't know, Dusseldorf is famous for its mustard. That's why if you order something a la Dusseldorf, it comes with mustard. But hey, welcome to our June Connecticut Rivers Council Roundtable. And boy, do we have an action-packed roundtable for you tonight. I would like to quickly turn it over to our council commissioner, Mr. R. David Lee, because he's got yet another place to be because he can't be too busy on a Monday night. Mr. Lee, thank you.
Thanks, Chip, I think. Thanks and welcome to our third virtual roundtable. First, I want to thank all the dedicated professionals and volunteers who've been working through these challenging times to ensure we have a vibrant program for Scouts in our council. I have participated in several calls over the last few months with the area, and our virtual programming is by far the best out there compared to our counterparts. And to all of you supporting Scouting by participating in those virtual efforts, we appreciate that. Thank you very much. Next, I'd like to announce the names of our new district committee chairs and commissioners, and most of these will be familiar to you, and hopefully you'll have a chance to hear from them later on during this evening. So for the Western District, we have Chairman Vincent Petrazio, Commissioner Manny Zabara. For the Central District, we have Chair Bob Sanford and Commissioner Dan Carr. And for the Northeastern District, we have Scott Garofano and Commissioner Jeff Meischel. In the Southeastern District, we have Mike Buchel as the chair and Commissioner Joe Cobble. So Joe's new to the team, so welcome to her. I'd like to thank the outgoing chairs, Jim Bain, John Silman, Stephen Lewis, and David Schultz, and the outgoing district commissioners, Rob Titleman, Cheryl Constantine, Mike Buchel, and John Norcross and Robin Heath for their dedicated service to our council and districts. Rob and Cheryl won't be going too far, though. They're taking on new roles as assistant council commissioners, providing assistance to the new district commissioners. Rob will be working with the Western and Central districts, and Cheryl will be working with the Northeastern and Southeastern districts. So welcome to all, and we look forward to working with everyone to continue our mission of providing this stellar program to the youth in our council. As you know, unit service is the cornerstone of what we commissioners do, and if you're interested in being a resource or helping other units, either contact one of the new commissioners or me, and we'll get you started on a very rewarding path. Next, I'd like to take you on an overview, as quickly as possible, of the virtual national meeting, which was held last week. It certainly was interesting. You may be aware the National is going through a bankruptcy process, but I'm going to not talk about that much yet right now. So I do want to focus on a few other areas, things like program and advancement updates. I'm going to hit the topic of membership fees very briefly and talk about some changes that are going to be happening to the structure of the BSA through what's called their Churchill Initiative. So from an advancement perspective, the modifications that are currently in place due to the COVID-19 pandemic for all programs will continue until September. They are being reviewed and will be determining if changes need to be made at some point in the future. Virtual Scouting in some form will continue, as we're doing with this June roundtable. Journey to Excellence criteria for 2020 will not be modified. However, the program is under review and may look different in the future. We will need to look at different ways to conduct recruiting depending on how much access there is to the schools in the fall. We're going to increase the use of geofencing, and that'll be used for units to do a more targeted marketing for their recruiting efforts in late summer, early fall. And the 2021 National Jamboree is still a go. So we're full steam ahead. We have a full council or a full leadership team put in place, and we will be increasing our youth recruitment efforts shortly. On to the membership fees. You may have seen some recent notifications come out on that. I just want to touch on that briefly. Keep in mind, we haven't reviewed how they're going to impact our council program fee yet, but we'll get that information out here shortly. But I just want to give you an update on what National has said. So the current membership fee for youth is $60. Effective August 1st, this fee will go up to $66. Other membership fees going up effective August 1st include the adult and exploring membership fee from $36 to $42. In addition, the unit charter fee will increase from $60 to $75. And just because we have to do something new every now and then, there will be a one-time joining fee for each newly registered scout of $25, which is in addition to the membership fee, and that joining fee will continue going forward. On top of that good news, New National also advised that the youth membership fees will be increasing in 2021 to $72 and 2022 to $75. As I said, we're still looking at how the impact to our council program fee is, and so we'll get that information out shortly. With respect to the BSA structure and the Churchill effort, it's an opportunity for the organization to look at how they're doing things and how they can improve it and be more efficient. The Council Key 3 of Connecticut Rivers participated in the process by partaking in a phone interview. So some of the stuff that's coming out of it is they're going to change the structure of the management of the BSA. Areas and regions are going to look different. There's going to be some consolidation and restructuring of that, which will likely start in the fall of this year and be completed by the end of Q1. Hasn't been any specific discussion on individual council boundaries yet. However, they're going to put metrics in place for councils to meet, and if they can't meet those metrics, they're going to ask the councils start to participate or partner with nearby councils to be more efficient and effective. We're working. We've reached out to the councils in Connecticut to begin a dialogue. We're still waiting for some feedback on that. Another big announcement is going forward, youth programs for the BSA will end for all at the age of 18. There will be a program for younger adults, tentatively called a service corps, for 18 to 34-year-olds to keep those folks engaged in scouting. It's very similar to the concept of the Rover program seen internationally. The tentative date for this start change will be January 1st, 2021. Plan for the future national meeting is to combine it with Top Hands, which is the meeting reserved for professionals. So more to come on that. And so we are going to be continuing to provide information. Stephen will talk more about some information on the bankruptcy and the impacts to that. But the point is, we are in a transition period. We will continue to evolve. Scouting has evolved over its 100 years, and we will continue to do so. So we appreciate everybody's efforts, and we look forward to evolving with you. So thank you, and scout on. Well, back to you, Chip.
Thank you, Dave. I know some of those things that you just shared are probably the not exactly what everybody wanted to hear. However, it needs to be said. So thank you, Mr. Lee. With that, I will let you head to your next endeavor. Thank you for all that you do for scouting in Connecticut. Moving right along, as Kermit the Frog would say, I have the absolute pleasure of introducing Connecticut Rivers Council's Chief Executive Officer and Scout Executive, Mr. Stephen Smith. Mr. Smith, good evening.
Good evening. Thank you for having me with you tonight. What a crazy time. Who would have thought when we started this out 3 months ago that this would be still continuing? And it's just become quite a way to communicate with our leaders effectively and tell them what's going on and inform them and get questions and go back and forth. Some of the things I really wanted to thank the volunteers for in this council in the last few months, we've done virtual camporees, we've done merit badge clinics. The last total I heard in merit badge clinics, we've run over 1,000 kids through merit badge classes in the last 3 months. And I've heard from approximately 30 different states. So it's incredible the bandwidth that we're getting with our scouting program through the virtual programs. And things like the virtual camp, summer camp operation that we're talking about we'll talk about later this evening. We have 138 kids signed up for it already, with another 160 kids halfway through the application process for a program that who would have even dreamed about 160 days ago would ever have happened. And now it's a reality, and it's got a great program behind it. A great group of staff came together and said, we're going to make this work. Scouting will continue regardless of the environment we're in. Now, some of the things that aren't going so well, and those are some of the things that I wanted to visit with you a little bit now. David referred to national and the bankruptcy, and the council itself is going through some tough times right now. And just to give you an idea of what and how we've got to where we are, is so far this year, all of the spring fundraisers have had to be canceled. That's basically about 20% of our budget. Summer camp, when that was canceled, that created another huge gap in our budgets. It's almost a third of the income for the council is not there anymore. Special events for the fall, we don't know if they're going to happen. We've had golf tournaments, we've had shooting sports, we've had influential women and salute to youth events. We know some of them are going to happen because we're going to do them virtually. Some of them, it's awful hard to do shotgun shooting virtually. So we just don't know what's going to happen. So we're really getting a little strapped for cash, quite honestly. We're no different than you at home with your checkbook of when the income's not coming in, you have to cut expenses. And you're going to be seeing some of that in the near future. Of the council is going to have to react to and put into plan other avenues of providing the scouting program. While the virtual end of the scouting in Connecticut Rivers is working great, it's the other things that we have to worry about. They're the things like the power bills for all the camps and for the office, the workers' comp insurance for all of our employees, the heating and cooling bills, the maintenance on the facilities, all of the things that are ongoing things that just don't go away, like insurance bills and things like that. So in the next couple of weeks, you're going to be getting a letter, and it's a direct mail. And quite honestly, we can't think of a better way to reach out to our volunteers. As recently as last weekend, I was addressing a group of volunteers and starting to tell them about how serious it's getting. And they said, you know, you never share with us when things aren't going well. You know, and only tell us when things are great. So I guess this is a time where I got to tell you, it's not going so great right now. And it's just for a lot of reasons. We've got the national bankruptcy going. We've got the pandemic. Couldn't have picked a worse time for us in the Boy Scouts to hit, because right when we needed to get out and really talk to people and explain what's going on, we just can't. And there's other things coming up like the popcorn that we just don't know if it's going to happen or to what degree. So as you get the letter, please don't look at it as oh, it's just the council coming and begging for help again. We really need your help and support now. We really need you to help in any way you can. And no contribution is too small. No contribution is too large. We've got a big gap to cover to get to the end of the year, and we need all of your help to get there. And as in the past, scouting has always done, the volunteers have really stepped up at times when it's tough. When the economy's gone down, and I have never been able to figure this out, scouting raises more money than it's ever raised because our leaders really come up, step up, and help us get over the line. And we need that as we move forward. Is there light at the end of the tunnel? Absolutely. Last Friday, it made my day when the governor said we can start meeting outside with groups of 25 and indoors with groups of 10. As long as we keep following social distancing, we'll move ahead and we'll see the other side of the pandemic. And that's where scouting will survive and has survived and thrived. We've done a lot of great community service work, providing masks and vent covers and all kinds of community service projects, from collecting food to collecting medical supplies to just checking in on neighbors to make sure they're okay. And that's where scouting's message, that's what scouting's mission is all about, the servant leadership. And that's where you leaders have done just an incredible job and myself and all of the people we work with and all of the volunteers that manage this council want to thank you for the contributions you've made to the Connecticut Rivers Council. Chip, back to you.
For some reason, I keep putting myself on mute. I think it's because I like to hear myself talk, Mr. Smith. Thank you for sharing all that information with the members online tonight. It is tough times, and I hope that we can all see our way through this and move on, continue to move on, and make this great organization even better. There is light at the end of the tunnel. I don't think it's a train. So with that, I would like to introduce the camp director of Camp Mattituck, who has also decided or been appointed to direct our virtual summer camp this year, Mr. Jeremy Nelson. Jeremy.
The scout is an island, the scout stands alone. When we can't go to camp, we do it from our home. Camp kinda like our, camp kinda like our, camping from our home. The scout is an island, the scout stands alone. When we can't go to camp, we do it at our home. Camp kinda like our, camp kinda like our, camping at our home. Camp kinda like our, camp kinda like it, camping at our home.
So I've got to send a shout out there to Mike Brown for the lyrics for that theme song and for Jay Messier for putting that together for us. As far as I know, we are the only virtual camp right now playing our theme song out on the web. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that and take advantage of it. As Stephen was saying earlier, scouting has a really bright future, but this is something that we can do right now, that we can get through this and make sure that we're delivering the program of scouting to all of our scouts and youth that are out there. So Camp Kinda Like actually started probably 2 to 3 months ago at this point, when we started to realize that even if we were able to have in-person summer camps this summer, there were probably going to be scouts, scouters, parents, and other people that weren't comfortable attending those in our current situation. So we got a group of scouts or group of staff members together and started to plan Camp Kinda Like. And since that time, we now have 2 partner councils. So Good Haven Council, as well as Western Massachusetts Council, have partnered with us to put this on as a really dynamic program. And as we heard earlier, there are 15 councils represented as of right now, with scouts from all over the country, from sea to shining sea, really. So we have a fairly large contingent from Los Angeles that are going to be attending. We offer programs for Cub Scouts and Scouts BSA. The Cub Scouts programs includes different adventures throughout the day, as well as activities that are taking place in the morning, guest speakers, and virtual tours of different facilities. And the Scouts BSA program is merit badge based for part of the time. So you have up to 3 merit badges that you can earn through your virtual week of camp, as well as attending virtual events throughout the different times of the week. There's also some specialty programs in the Scouts BSA program. We're offering a first-year camper program that'll cover some of the rank advancement skills needed for to get to the first class. And then we're also offering a Trail to Eagle program, which will take place the last 2 weeks of Camp Kinda Like. Some of the camp-wide activities that are being done, we have various guest speakers from fields all over the place and different programs that we necessarily wouldn't be able to offer in a regular summer camping experience. So there are people from all over the country that have offered to give talks or lessons or show activities or lead activities with our scouts. Presentations and tours, like we talked about, all done virtually, of course, but the ability for those kids to get involved and see those things happening and then take those skills out, put them to practice at their house, and come back together as large groups to talk about them. We're offering overnight experiences every week. And that, like we said, just starting earlier, actually in the last couple of days, we developed 2 new programs as we saw scouts from across the country start to join our camping experience. Like I said, 15 councils. We're now going to have a nightly roundtable discussion with a different topic for those scouts to get involved in and be able to talk to each other about how those different units may put on these types of activities across the country. And we're also going to sponsor an OA day once a week so that the OA can get together and talk from different parts of the country. So it is a really exciting experience, something new, something different. We knew when we started this that there was no way we could replicate the experience we have in our camps, but this is a good way to deliver program to scouts and offer something new that maybe we can try and see if we can get people from across the country to get together and try this. So that's Camp Kinda Like It in a nutshell. If you're looking for some additional information, you can email me at jeremy.nelson@scouting.org or Michael Brown, which is michael.brown@scouting.org. The links and everything are put also on the council website and council Facebook page. So feel free to reach out and check that out. Thanks, Chip.
Thank you, Jeremy. That was great. I look forward to Camp Kinda Like It and look forward to all of its offerings this summer and helping out in a couple of weeks of my own. So with that, this is going to bring us to the put a face to the name. Okay, so as all of our guests may or may not know, we have officially begun the new district lines. District names have yet to be chosen. Those will be chosen by the district committees themselves and however they decide to do it. So with that, I'm just going to go straight down my list with the new district numbers that they're calling us, or that we're calling ourselves now. And I'm going to murder your last name, Vin, but I'm going to say, if I was still working at the Post Office Cafe in East Greenwich, it would be Vincenzo Pietro Razio.
Well,
and I know
thank
I
you, Chip.
Hey, you're welcome. Thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry. You wanted to put the face to the name, right?
Absolutely. Okay.
It's a poor attempt at humor, but it will become meaningful in just a couple of minutes as I go through what we're looking to do here in District 1. I am proud and humbled to be heading up District 1, the #1 district in the council. And as I say it that way, it assures that we're going to get our name really quick. I'm joined with our district leadership team. My partner in crime, Manny Zabara, is going to join me as district commissioner. Jay Messier from the Maniatic District is going to be our district executive. And also, I really want to thank Jim Bain and John Norcross, our outgoing Northwest Hills District Chair and Commissioner, who are going to join in an emeritus role as we set up our new committee. So Jim and John, thank you so much for offering to do that. I'm looking to have a deep bench. There's so many great people and there's so much talent out here in Western Connecticut. There's no reason for anybody on our team to burn out. So that's going to sort of be the watchwords as we go forward to set up this team. Our short-term focus, of course, is going to be to build the team so that we can hit the ground running by the end of the summer. But our longer-term strategy, I'd like to at least put a couple of words out. We want to focus on our membership numbers and the strength of our units. Specifically in Cub Scouting, I want to really partner with each of the school systems so that we can build our Cub Scout programming. And then in the Webelos piece of that, I really want to focus on effective bridging, and I've got a secret weapon to do that. That secret weapon is the den chief. I want to make sure that we've got a den chief in every Webelos den in the entire district. And then lastly, in the Scouts VSA program, I want to make sure that every kid has the opportunity to advance to first class within the first 2 years. And it's not so much a focus on the advancement program, but as leaders, we all want to be cognizant of the fact that 11 to 13 really is the sweet spot of instilling our core scouting ideals and values to our children. So with that in mind, I also want to do a shameless plug. We're planning a virtual Pinewood Derby. Information on that is on the CRC website as we speak. The date is Saturday, June 27th at Warcomen. We're going to drop our cars off at either Camp Warcomen in the chapel or at Camp Mattatuck in the porch box at Lever Lodge. It's a $5 entry fee. If you'd like a patch, it's an additional $5, and $5 more will get your car mounted on the Camp Work Home and Pinewood Derby totem pole. So as we've seen over the past in the headlines, the extension of the Scout Oath and Law past the confines of our program has never been more important. Our challenge as a leadership team is to set this example as we have done so for the past 110 years. So I'm really looking forward to this challenge, and thank you very much. Back to you, Chip.
Thank you, Vin. I really, really love the fact that you want to get a den chief in every den for Webelos. I think that is a huge step forward to the Webelos to Scout transition. Thank you very much for that. I want to take a second to put the name to the face of somebody you may already know, and that is Mr. Manny Zavera, the District 1 Commissioner. Manny.
Thanks, Chip. How's everyone doing? Hope to work with all of you in the upcoming future. Been with Vinny for a while now, so it'll be great to, finally connect to some people up toward the rest of District 1 there, all the way up to Salisbury and all that stuff up that way, where I've been just with the 39 down toward this way. So it'll be fun to meet everyone and talk and get together and really get the district moving. Thanks.
Excellent, Manny. I can tell you I was just up in the Northwest Hills yesterday getting a change of scenery and doing some hiking. My knees aren't what they used to be, I'll tell you that much, but it's gorgeous country, and I can't wait for more scouts to enjoy what nature has to offer them, especially in the Northwest corner. So I look forward to what you guys have to offer. At this time, I would like to introduce Mr. Robert Sanford, the district chair for District 2. Mr. Sanford.
Hi, good evening, all. I guess I must have studied math somewhere else, but in my book, with all due respect to District 1, number 2 will prove to be number 1. But anyway, District 1 had some very good comments, and we will definitely borrow a few of their ideas. I like the Den Chief one quite a bit. As you can see from the map, we serve Central Connecticut and North Central Connecticut. We are fortunate that we've got a nice little tight compact area with nice highways going here and there and everywhere, so we should be able to connect well, obviously virtually for the time being. We plan to start organizing our district leadership and district committee over the summer. I sent an email out last week that went to Unit Key 3 leaders in District 2. I just today got an email list of all leaders in District 2, so the same email will be forwarded to all leaders probably later this week or this weekend. In it is a link to a Google document where we're asking scouters to express their interest in assisting District 2. You can, if you're interested in being a commissioner, you can indicate on the sheet. The link will give you some multiple choice and short text boxes, and also district committee positions. Involvement can be as major as a major chair of a committee, or it could be as minor as being one of many hands on an event, such as our District Pinewood or Camporee. So I would encourage everyone that received that email to open it up, click on the link, express where you'd like to help us out, and also pass it on to any others that may not be on the unit leader list. We're definitely interested in any scouter that wants to help us, former scoutmasters and assistant scoutmasters that may not be on current leader lists. If you know someone would be a good candidate for us, please pass it on. I am really, really excited to be working as district chair and working with units from towns and cities in 4 different former districts. I think if I did the math correctly, we have 2 cities and 23 towns. So it's going to be exciting. I'm glad to be a part of it. And the email, when I send it out, will have my contact information, phone number, email. Never, ever, ever hesitate to reach out if I can be of any assistance. And we have a great team with Dan Carr, who I presume will be showing his face in a moment as our district commissioner. and John Babbage as our district director. And we also have, it was mentioned earlier, Rob Titleman is the west or the northwest and the central assistant or associate council commissioner, and he'll be a resource we will be working with. So look forward to meeting a lot of new folks. Thanks all.
Excellent. Thank you, Mr. Sanford. Unfortunately, Mr. Carr, Dan was unable to join us. I know many people are already familiar with Dan. He is the tall, skinnier version of me, and he also has hair. So we look forward to working with Dan also. District 3, I can see that Mr. Garofano is not with us, but I know that Mr. Jeffrey Meischel, the district commissioner, the once and former Nipmuc district commissioner, has joined us. Mr. Meischel.
Hi, welcome everybody. It's been great being the Nipmuc commissioner, and I look forward to expanding to the rest of the new towns that are joining us in District 3. I've been working on the commissioner staff for, I don't know, 15, 20 years now. So it'll be nice to meet the new leaders in the towns that are coming to join us. In District 3, we hope to expand on the commissioner staff and the committee volunteers to help make this one of the best districts out there. So,
excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff. It has been a pleasure working with you all these years, and I look forward to continuing working with you. And I know that we, Scott, yourself, and myself have some really excellent plans coming up for the future. So with that being said, we are down to the last. I guess some people could say that we saved the best for last, but whatever. That's District 4. And I don't see Mike Buchel on, so I will pass it on to the District Commissioner, Ms. Jo Cobble. Ms. Cobble?
Hey. Yeah,
Awesome.
best for last, I guess. I don't have a big speech like everybody else. I'm not that cool, I guess. So, but I look forward to working with everybody in our area. So we got 4, so that best number always. So, and we're purple, so sounds like a good plan. So any questions, just shoot me an email. And thank you for having me on. Excellent.
Thank you, Joe. With that being said, we will, I just want to cover a couple of things. Some of the things that you may be wondering are how are roundtables going to continue? Where will they be? Where will district committees meet? Those things, those will be decided quickly and communicated with the membership of all 4 districts shortly. That is the very short list. And moving on to one of the last points, I would just like to let everybody know that the answers to the national fee increase proposal, or what it's going to be for 2021, can be found right on the national website, www.scouting.org. And all of the current information for Camp Kindalika, any other of the projects going on, being put on by the wonderful staff at Connecticut Rivers Council, can be found at ctscouting.org. Also, I'd like to just say, if you, since you're viewing this on the first go round, what you are viewing this on Facebook. There are very many opportunities to get pack, troop, and crew program ideas straight from Facebook. There are many units who are meeting, camping within our own districts as like the family campouts, maintaining the social distance requirements, having virtual camp activities, requirement sessions. They're doing some really innovative programming. Reach out to your neighbors. Your neighbors who are doing this are being highlighted. on Facebook, on the district pages, on the council page. They're even in the news. So if you see them on the news and you want to find out how they put on that socially distant approved food drive or some other service project that is socially distant, follows the socially distant guidelines, please reach out to your neighbors who are doing this. They would be more than happy to share their success stories and more than happy to share their failures, because from failures we learn. We are scouts. We are members of the Boy Scouts of America. We have a 110-year history. Our history hasn't always been positive, whether it's the ups and ebbs and flows of membership, but I know that we have always been there for our country. The service projects through the world wars, collecting scrap metal and food and scrap papers. We've always been there. We will continue to be there through thick and thin. And I just want to remind everybody that our youth deserve trained leaders. Our youth deserve a positive influence. Our youth deserve us. So let's continue to go forward, continue the scouting movement, continue to work hard, and to be there for our youth for tomorrow. I'd like to thank all of my panelists tonight. I look forward to working with everybody, establishing roundtables in the new districts, making sure that the message gets out. And thank all of the viewers for coming tonight and in the future to watch this. And as always, if you have any questions, please reach out. I can be reached at bigchefchip@yahoo.com. I look forward to hearing from everybody and working with everybody in the future. Thank you very much and have a great night.